I'm just going to have a discussion, and then feel free to ask those type of questions which you're just asking, Trisha. So here's where the buck broke, right?
Yeah.
Now this is what you have to look at a few other things, not just the buck breaking and this alone, right? What you'd also look at is this was it breaking inside of like a buy trend, right? So if you look here, this was a buy before, okay? And then it went down. Now, if you go to the higher time frame, now we're on the 1 minute. If you go to the 5 minute time frame, all right, let's go to the 5 minute. You'd see that it's still a buy market. You could see clearly that it's a buy market, right? So when it came down, what it did, it came down to the 5 minute line. Let me just expand this. You could see the market sold down on the 1 minute. When you look at the 1 minute, you'll see some red in the back, but it came down and touched this 5 minute line here. So what it was really, this broken back here, what this was really a 1 minute buy stop that was a broken back buy stop. You see that? Because if you look down here, you'll see where the base indicator changed green to red when it came down, but it turned back to green, and then it turned back to red, and then it turned back to green when the back broke. When the back broke and the red up arrow came up. So this would be a good time to jump in against the background of everything else that we just discussed. In addition to, go to the 1 hour, and if you look at the 1 hour chart, you'll see that the 1 hour chart is a buy. Right? You could see the 1 hour chart is showing you green down here, red here, green here. So this is a buy. So this is a safe environment to go in. But if I saw that on where everything was opposite, except for that back break, I'd be a little cautious. So you don't use it by itself.
Yeah.
You use it in confluence with other factors. And then if you're gonna do that, you have to go in for a quick move, not I wouldn't go in for a longer term move.
Yeah.
Like for example, the trade I just closed, I closed it on this wick, and you could see it reversed a bit. I still think it's gonna go back up because gold right now, gold has been on a tear. Look at this buy candle. Look at this that happened just earlier. Right here. Look at this. This is gold. This was a buy move. It was actually showing a 1 minute sell. You see, like for example, here's a buck going. Here's a red going down and a buck going down, right? For a sell. So if you said, if you looked at this, you came here and you looked at this and you say, all right, great, let me jump in. If you're not quick, right, depending on the spread and what's going on, if you jumped in, this candle was the back break. But if you got in on this candle, it probably pushed you down to here. So your entry price should have probably been about right here where my hand is. Okay? Which gives you a very small amount of movement, 0.79, right? Of a pip that you would have had to extract profit, and also for you to have a spread with the broker. So this was a sell break, but then the higher time frames were showing a buy, right? Remember?
Yeah.
Right. So jumping in for a sell there would not be a good idea because the overall environment is a buy trend. So when we go forward, you notice it started coming back up, and right here it broke again for a buy. See that? So I would have been, because there's a higher time frame buy, I would be more waiting for the buy opportunities than trying to go for the sell opportunities. Not that I wouldn't go for it if I see it and I believe it's a good one, but this would have been a little bit tight. I could, but knowing that there's a strong buy environment going on, right?
Which I would have thought. But the thing is, so like if the trend was going to change if the trend was going to change to a sell, it would start from the 1 minute, right? Now, would that start from a 1 minute and then filter through to the 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, or will the
That's
one
correct. That's
or will the
correct.
1 hour color
So
change
yeah. So when
a
it's
bit?
when it's changing trend, what happens is that you have the safety trades develop from 1 minute, then a 5 minute, then 15 minute, and 30 minute, and 1 hour, and 4 hour, and daily, monthly, weekly,
Yeah,
monthly. That's
yeah,
how they develop. So that it's always beginning on the 1 minute, then you're gonna have a 5 minute, then you're gonna have a 15 minute, then you're gonna
yeah.
have a 30 minute, and so on. So
Mm,
how it works is that, for example, let's go back to right here, right? Let's go back to here. When we saw this coming down like this, right, where the 1 minute is selling down like this. When the
yeah,
1 minute is selling down, if you go to the 3 minute, let's go to the 3 minute, it's forming a 3 minute buy stop. See that? So it's sold down on the 1 minute, but it created a red area on the base indicator, giving you a 3 minute buy stop,
yeah.
right? So what happens is that when the 1 minute is a sell, then it's selling down, but it's setting up either a 3 minute or a 5 minute or a 15 minute buy
Bye.
stop. So
Yeah,
it's the 1 minute is really where when you see it selling down, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a sell. It could be just the setup. It could be the 1 minute that looks
super
like
for
it's
them.
selling down. Could be the pullback to set up a 5 minute or a 15 minute buy.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we've sort of understood now.
Right, right. So you have to bear that in mind. So when you see it selling down quickly, you have to look to see, okay, so if the 1 minute is running down quickly in front of you, then you go to your higher time frames, your 5 minute, your 15 minute, to see where they are relative to the candlesticks. For example, right now they're above these two trade lines, right? These two moving averages, sorry, right? On the 1 minute. You can see that it's above the yellow and the green. And
Yeah.
then if you jump to the 5 minute, that's the 3 minute. Let's jump back down to the 1 minute. If we're at the 1 minute, you can see on the 1 minute, it's right in between the yellow and the green. I know it's come below. Coming below it, right? And everything is green, which means that it's selling down to probably set up a 1 minute buy stop. And a 1 minute buy stop against the overall buy trend is okay. If it was a 1 minute buy stop against a sell trend, I'd be very careful. Right? But because it's a 1 minute buy stop and we have a higher time frame buy trend, then that's an okay situation, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at the 3 minutes. So this is the 1 minute, right? We see it drop below the two moving averages, right? And then when that happens, generally the buck is going to change from green to red if it goes down deep enough, and then that creates your true buy stop. If not, it's going to give you what's called a fill in the gap, right? Buy stop. Let me just expand this a little bit. You see where there's this gap between the yellow line and the candle and the bars. When
Mm-hmm.
it comes below, it creates that gap. And you could get a buy as a fill in the gap. But those are very short, very little 1, 2 pip, 1.5 pip buys, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go now to the 3 minute to see what's going on there. On the 3 minute, you can see it hasn't come below the trade lines on the 3 minute yet. You see that? It came down and touched the second one and it bounced back up a bit, suggesting that there's some buying pressure even at the 3 minute level because it didn't sell down through this and just keep going down. Right? Like it did here, so it sell down, way down below here, came down to what most likely was the 5 minute, and then it shot back up. So
Yeah.
then we jump from the 3 minute and we go to the 5 minute and see what's going on in the 5 minute. See, it hasn't come back down. It came to the first trade line and moving average on the 5 minute, the yellow one, and it bought back up from here. And if it came down to this one, it probably would have bought back up even more. So you could see every time it comes down to the 5 minute moving averages, it's buying back up. You notice that? Came down to the second one, it came back up, came down, came back up, came down, came back up. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on here. And then remember that these are the lines that you want to trade from, right? So you're either buying from this going up or you're selling from these going down, depending on what the overall trend is. Let
Yeah.
me see what if we have any guests here, Swazel, share. All right, I think everybody on the line is familiar with it, is a trader. I didn't want to be talking too far over people's head. Did that help, Trusha?
Brilliant. Yes, it did. Thank you.
All right, great. All right, wonderful. Man, look at this candle on gold today. I missed it though. I mean, I literally put in a buy here, and I I had to leave. I was scalping it and I had to leave, and I closed it. And when I came back, I saw this. I almost almost cried. I'm serious. I literally got up. In fact, I went to take a shower, right? I said, all right, because look before this move, this was what was going on. Zip, 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 zip. So there's like nothing really big, right? Nothing big happening. And I did a buy. Right here. When it came down, I jumped for a little buy right here, and I closed it out, and I said, let me go and get a shower. I came back.
That hurts when that happens.
Lord.
What could have caused that, Dr. Harry? Was there a news item or something?
No, there wasn't any news today.
There's none, but sometimes these moves happen, especially with gold and the indices. The market makers may be trying to move the market away from here, and that's why they probably did that. See, it came back down, but it didn't come back down to where it was. So they wanted the price above there at level.
Okay.
And so they'll do that from time to time. So that's one of the great things about opening up two trades, right? Because when you open up two, you close one down and you move the second one, your stop loss to entry, and you let it ride. So you could have caught that if you're opening two trades, right? So if you open up two trades, I generally don't open up two trades on a scalp, but like this would have been a little scalp for me. So I still would have jumped in, because if I saw this candle, I would have jumped in again. The back broke again here. This would have been a great opportunity to enter. As
How many pips was that? How many pips was that, Dr. Harry?
102.
102, right?
Okay.
So this is a lot of money for gold. A lot of money.
Yeah.
All right. So here, as Trusha was saying, here would have been a good point to enter the buy with the broken back. Why? Because there's a higher time frame buy. Right? So this would have been but it would have been not so easy to catch this. Because if you caught it on the first candle, great. But if you didn't catch it by the second one, you still got some. But it's a little, I don't enter trades. I used to, but I no longer enter trades that are this far from the trade line. I call it like trying to go into a trade in mid-year. Up here, it's just not a good idea to try to get into the trade when it's already expanding. You want to wait until there's a pullback, as it did here, and comes back below these lines. Like when it expands like this, wait for it to pull back and then enter down here when it pulls back, right? It's a safer place to enter the trade in the direction of where the market moves are already going. All right. And a bit just based on this move, I anticipate that after market reopens, there should be probably still some upward pressure. But I've been noticing that there's some selling is being tried, but the market is just not selling. It's just not selling, right? For gold, right? I see that it's continuing to trend upwards. Because if you just skip through the time frames, the 1 minute, go up to the 5 minute, right? You look at it, the 5 minutes is all a buy. Green, green, green. Go to the 15 minute, all right? The 15 minute, the back is green, the base indicator is green, and the bottom three indicators are red. Let's go to the 30 minute. Only the back is red, everything else down here is green. Let's go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour has a red base indicator, but green and green. All right, so that's a buy stop on the 1 hour. All right, so for it to really develop any more selling fresh, for it to really sell, yes, at some point it's going to turn around. but it's buying off of this 4 hour. See, it's buying up off this 4 hour. It bought off this 4 hour. I'm on the 4 hour chart. It came up off this 4 hour trade line. So it had sold down. This was Friday. So Friday it sold down, came down to the 4 hour, and it bought back up. Sold back down a little bit, not too much, right, on this last 4 hour candle. And I know, so I started buying back up again, right? So so bear that in mind if you're going to be trading gold. Let's take a look at what took place here with let's look at NAS, right? Man, right? NAS is in an NAS US 30 and S&P right now. They're in a very interesting space. They're above their all-time highs, right? So they're above their all-time highs. Now that presents opportunities that right now the bulls are in total charge of the indices. They have been buying like no tomorrow, right? If you drop down, just go to the 1 hour time frame. Look at the 1 hour chart. Look at the 1 hour chart on US 30 and NAS. Can you see that? Look at this, right? It's almost like a straight line up, okay? If we go to the 4 hour chart on it, you can see, this thing has just been buying. Even when it went sideways here for a little bit, it's still an uptrend. Look at that. It's been buying like crazy. Now, I personally, know that at some point they're going to reverse this market, right? So if I were you, I'd be make sure you have your stop loss in place. Make sure if you're trading, you don't just leave your trades open, because I believe at some point they're going to reverse the market to come back down. That's just my my perspective on that at some point they have to come down with the market. And when that's going to be, who knows, right? There was an attempt to sell it here. It didn't sell. All right. These are 1 hour candles, right? And this happened on Thursday. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. It came down below the 1 hour line. It boom, it went back up. Right. These last two candles sold on a bit, right? On NAS, let's check US 30. Similar, right? Let's check S&P 500. Basically a mirror reflection of NAS, right? So if I were you and looking to make some money off the indices, I wouldn't be overly bullish. I would be a little bit cautious. I'd take the buys when they come. Like here was a 1 minute. There's a 1 hour buy stop that worked out really well. This was on Friday, right? There's a 1 hour buy stop on NAS. There was one on the one on NAS didn't show on the US 30. So it was on SPX, the 1 hour buy stop on SPX, and it produced a big win, as you could see, right? A lot of pips were delivered by this move here. 36 pips on S&P, right? And if we jumped up to NAS, what we got on NAS was a 15-minute, right? You got it on a 15-minute, right? So the 15-minute move was on NAS. The same thing was there on S&P as well. So that was 163 pips, okay? And on US 30 on the 15-minute was a big catch as well. A couple of moves, right? For those who are trading US 30. That's 62 on that one. And on this one was another 69.70. So it's delivering, right? But if I were you and I'm trading the indices, see US 30 doing a little bit, it's at its all-time high. I'd be a little bit cautious because right now it's below its blue line already. And it's kind of been there most of the day. You can see that US 30 is kind of at its blue line. So it's not running away all the way up. It's kind of at its blue line, up and down, up and down. And NAS has been above its blue line today, right? Came back down a bit after in the afternoon here. You could see came back down a bit, and S&P most likely the same. See, S&P sold off quite a bit, coming back down. Yep, sold off quite a bit. I was trying to catch a sell here earlier, but I didn't get a good entry. I thought this should have been it, but it came back up, and then it sold on to here. I wasn't around to jump in here, right? But this should have been a nice, look, this is a nice sell, see? right? This is a nice sell. Look at this, guys. The bot broke here, right? The bot broke here. It came back up and it retested, and it came back up, retested again, and gave an entry. Okay, so this should have been a nice entry to catch a sell, you know, on this 1 minute sell stop. I anticipate that we're going to have some selling. So I am looking for when this market starts to sell. And how are you going to know that this market is in sell mode? Let me show you, right? Let me go and show you how you're going to know the indices are in sell mode. To know that the indices are in sell mode, you come to this, right? You come to here. Come to here, okay? And you're going to see minute 1, red, all 3 red. Minute 5, all 3 red. Minute 15, all 3 red. Minute 30, all 3 red. Once you see these first 4 time frames all red, you know the market is in a sell trend, even before the 1 hour changes, right? So once you see all of these flipping over on your 203 scanner, the H&H scanner, right? Once you see that happening, and you see all of these red on the 1 minute, all of these red on the 5 minute, all of these red on the 15 minute, all of these red on the 30 minute, you now know that you're in a sell trend, right? And then when you're in a sell trend, you have to be you should be looking more for sells than for buys, right? So I anticipate the market is going to start selling soon, but we have to wait. Still early, right? Still early. So we're above the blue line on the 1 minute on the S&P. We're above the blue line on NAS, right? But we're close during the day. It didn't run off into normally it runs up way up in the day, but it didn't do that today. It went up, but not a massive amount. US 30, see US 30 is below its 1 minute blue line. So I've been looking out for them to start selling because why? Because the market is at its all-time high. And at some point, when it goes up into these all-time high price points, that at that point, sometimes there's a reversal. At some stage, there's a reversal. And when that reversal happens, it's usually very heavy. So I'm looking out for it because it's been going up. The market has been going up for a while. It's been buying up for a while, right? So at some point, we catch some of this coming back down. It went up like, for some, let me look at the weekly. Let's go to the weekly chart, and then we have an idea of how much it went up, right? Let's look at the weekly chart, right? Here's the weekly chart, right? Good. So it started down here when it sold down and started down here, and this is a US 30. So this went up 8,081 points. 8,000, right? From where it was. So coming up, even if you guys get into and catch half coming back down, just catch half of that coming back down. Just imagine, man, right? That's going to be sweet. So, right, just half of it coming back down is 4,000 points. So even if you don't catch all of it, you catch some of it or pieces of it, but there's something to be caught. That's for sure, right? So look out for that, guys. Don't let that miss you as that happens. All right. So as I said, I know we're mainly members here today and tomorrow and Thursday. We're gonna shut down Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then we'll reopen Wednesday and Thursday again on Saturday and start back the year next year. All right. So any questions from anybody? Any questions?
Dr. Harry?
Yes.
I don't know whether to ask this question or I have actually bought this TradingView system on 26th of November, and I've still not received any of my indicators. It's almost 3.5 weeks.
Okay, so if that happened, there's some steps that there's something, because there are a few people who have kind of missed the steps of how that works in terms of filling out the form, submitting your TradingView, a picture of your TradingView username.
No, no.
Yes.
I did speak to Tani, and
okay.
it was Tani's mistake, and she said she submitted late, and that's going back 2 weeks as well now.
Okay. Well, if she submitted it and it's done, because I know a bunch of people were running behind with their trading view indicators, and I know that been cleared. Like Bridget was running behind with hers, Horatio, but they were cleared up.
Really?
Yeah. So, but those were cleared up. So if they were cleared up, and I know those were running a few weeks behind as well, but they were cleared up.
Mine isn't either.
Yours isn't cleared up yet. So
No.
okay, so maybe there's still a couple because the indicators. And what I suggest you do is check to see if you see the invite only scripts. Let me just go here. Indicators. When you click here,
that. I did.
invite only scripts. And then there's something else under favorites. There's some because Bridget knows, is Bridget? Bridget knows how to do that part.
Okay.
Right? But I don't understand how to do that part.
But
There's
don't we get any confirmation email or anything from?
no, that's the challenge with it because it's a manual thing.
Right.
Then somebody has to tell you that it was done, or you keep checking to see if it's there.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, so a lot of what had happened is that for some people it was there, but they didn't know it was there. And there's
Okay.
something that do you have Bridget's contact, Bath?
I have in group. Yeah, I did speak to
All
her
right.
for my
Okay,
scanner
great.
earlier. So yeah, I'll
You
call her.
reach out to her because she knows how to. She was the one who found it for her and Horatio because it was there, but they didn't realize it was there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I know a few people are having that challenge where it's the invite only scripts is not there yet, but I think it has something to do with favorites. But I do not understand that. So clearly, I do not want to give anybody wrong information. Bridget
So
is going to be the best person to help you to see if it's there or it's not there. And if it's not there, then I guess we need to just recontact.
Honey.
Yeah, this porting over stuff has been a little bit of a, hey, you know what? Nobody anticipated Hugo's way doing what they did, so it was just one of those things.
If you do have a chat with Bridget, will you let her know that I will be contacting her?
Yeah,
please?
I'll send her a message. Bridget is cool. So even if you contact Bridget is,
Okay.
Bridget is so cool, so helpful. So, she's not one of those persons that turns her nose up about stuff. So she's really, really wonderful. So you'll be good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Anyone else with a question? I'm hearing you there. Okay. All right. I guess no question. So yeah. So guys, do your thing. I'm very excited. Oh, by the way, AUD USD. There's a red folder coming up this evening on it at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So make sure you look out for that. There's going to be a red folder on AUD USD at 7:30 p.m. today. You could definitely make some moves with that. There are a couple of ways to approach it. If you're sure about where it's going, fine. You take your direction. But if you're not clear, what you should do, if you're not clear on if it's going to buy, it's going to sell, if you're not very clear, because sometimes there's a 1 minute sell and then a 5 minute buy, or there could be a 1 minute sell, a 15-minute buy, which means that the market could go in both directions, right? And when that's the case, what you could do if you want to, let's say, first of all, remember that the 1 minute is usually where the market is going, right? The 1 minute time frame, even the 30-second, gives you an idea of where the market is going, right? Real time. So it's the 1 minute that gives you an idea. But with that said, there could still be a 1 minute buy stop, and the 15-minute sell stop is what the news pushes forward. Okay, so bear that in mind. So how can I help you to? Because I've been winning those news folders, right? I've been winning them. I think I only lost one, right? Or missed one recently. Last week, I think I got 5 or 6 in a day, in one day, all red folders, and I call all of them right. So here's what you should look for. Let's say on the 1 minute time frame. Right now, you notice that, unmute and tell me if you see this buy stop here, right here. You guys see this buy stop? Green, red, green. You see the buy stop?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So if there's a red folder, I would not be looking for a buy right here, because it's already the buy stop has already happened. You see that it's away from the trade line. If so, if there's a red folder coming up, I'll be anticipating a reversal. They're going to probably pull it down first, and then I may run it back up, or they may just reverse the market. So you should go to the higher time frames to find out if there's something else going on. Okay? So bear that in mind. So AUD USD, looking at it right now as it is. Somebody's line is giving us a lot of feedback. Thank you. All right. So so if I were looking at AUD USD right now ahead of the news, see it's pulling back, right? So let's say the news is coming up shortly. If it pulls back and comes below here and gives me a setup on the 1 minute just before the news, like 7:28, 7:27, and it gives me the setup for the buy, I'll put in for a buy. But if it's not set up for a buy, on the 1 minute prior to the news, I'm not going to set up for a buy. I'm going to look for most likely the movement of a sell. Okay, and then I'll check the higher time frames. If it's an overall buy market, it's going to buy, right? You know, but if it has conflicting setups, on the 15 minute you have a sell, on the 1 minute you have a buy, careful. So on the 1 minute, it's showing us that later on down we could have a buy stop, right? On the 1 minute. Let's go up to the 5 minute. 5 minute. What is it showing me? The 5 minute here, right, is showing me what? A sell. Okay, showing me a sell. Red here, green here, red here, right? It's showing me a sell on the 5 minute. And then on the 15 minute, what is it showing me? Another, it's not clear because down here is green, this is red, this is red. All right, so the 15 minute was up here, it came down, it arched up, it sold down. It has not come above here to sell back down yet. So this needs to buy up some more to set up a 15 minute, if it was going to do a 15 minute sell. But it's not even clear. But the logo is starting to show that it came across, came down, arched up, sold down, arching up again, possibly selling down. So let's go to the 30 minute. The 30 minute, this was above, came down, arching back up. So you see the 30 minute was a buy. The 30 minute was a buy, right? Came down to come back up, was down below here, came up here, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, sold down, coming back up. All right, so if we go to the 1 hour, 1 hour is going to show us a buy stop. See? Green, red, green, buy. So it was above, came down, and it's not coming back up. So knowing that the 1 hour has a buy trend, depending on what this is showing me, close to news, 1 minute chart, I'm going to bear in mind that there's a 1 hour buy stop driving this as an overall buy market on the AUD USD, right? 1 hour buy stop. And then I'm going to look to see what my setup is at that time. Is it going to show me, if it shows me a 1 minute sell, and the news is going to drive a quick 1 minute sell. If it's showing me that it's already bought, overbought, and it's above the trade line, most likely it will pull it back down. If it's below already, most likely it's going to participate in the move and continue the buy trend going up. So just read it as best you can. And here's another thing as well. Make sure when you're putting in your entry, right? When you're going to put your buy stop and your sell stop, wherever you're going to put it, try to put it in close to the time. Because what it can do, if you're putting it too early, it can wick you in and pull you in the opposite direction, okay, and knock your stop loss, right? And then when it knocks your stop loss with those news candles, it's going to push your stop loss down further from where you put it. So you end up losing more money, right? Just bear those things in mind. So when you're putting in your trade, try to put it in just before. So, you put it in like a pip or 2 pips away, just before, like what I try to do is time it 7:29, and then 1 minute before, and just put it in, and I know I'm safe, right? I'm not worried it's gonna just come and weak me and pull me down if it's not going in my direction, right? So those are some of the things you could do to benefit from that. And hopefully, do it in a demo. Practice what I just shared with you in a demo until you become comfortable with it. But those news portfolios are powerful, man. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And also, another tip again, when you see a news follow-up move, and some of them reverse, right away. But a lot of times, if it goes in the direction of when it moves, pay attention to if it's continuing its momentum. because sometimes it will push the market in a new direction, and it's going to continue for a while, right? So sometimes the first candle is not the end of it. That's just sometimes the beginning of the move. And then after that, minutes after, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, you'll see just continue going up or continue going down. On Friday, yeah, there's a candle that I caught, and it ended up successive news candles pushed it 100 pips for the day on GBP USD. Right, let me show it to you. All right, if we go to the 1 hour candle on Friday, right, you'll see it. Right, see, it started up here. You can see it, right, and it went all the way down. Right, this is the first. This is at 2 a.m. Right, 2 a.m. Yeah, okay, 2 a.m. Whenever that started off, right, and it just kept going down, down, down all day, right. So just bear those things in mind, right? So because see, the market was buying up, it went sideways, and then news came, and then this thing went from all the way up here, all the way down here, and that's 143 pips ultimately, the move. But I remember catching participating in it. It was 100 pips. I didn't catch all of it, but I catch some of it. All right. So bear that in mind when you see the candles move with the news. Check to see what's going on with the successive ones, because sometimes the move is not over and it's going to continue in that direction, right? So this was the news was used as a reversal of this trend, because this was a strong buy trend on GBP USD, bought up like crazy on Thursday when Powell spoke, right? This was a big buy up, right? From here, it bought up like crazy. This was Wednesday it started, bought up Wednesday, continued, then it went sideways, and then it sold off. It didn't come back here yet, but it sold off significantly. All right, GBP USD. All right, so just bear those things in mind. Hopefully, those little tips that I'm sharing with you from experience can help you in better benefiting from the moves in the market. But these red folders are very powerful. They're great, and they're relatively easy to win. They're relatively easy to win. If you put in your buy stop away from it, just don't get tapped in before the news, right? Happens. So you're away from it. So once it moves in your direction, even if it's gonna change your entry, right? Just bear that in mind. So maybe you don't get as many pips out of it as you would have if you're in the trade before the news. Because if you're in the trade before the news is called, you get all of the move. But then the challenge with that is that it may not go in your direction if you're not sure. So I'm, very rarely I'll go in before. If I'm very confident, I'll go in before. But if I'm not, I just wait for the buy stop or the sell stop and move it. Right, but if I'm very, very certain that yes, this is where we're going, based on everything that I looked on, then I don't mind, jumping. If it turns around, I hit my stop loss, so be it. But yeah. All right. Hopefully that helps. So AUD USD coming up tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. There's USD CAD red folder. On Wednesday, there's a bunch of news as well. Wednesday, there's an 8:30 a.m. USD red folder. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Wednesday and 2 a.m. on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. On Friday, you have 4 red folders. 4. 4 red folders on Friday. So just before Christmas, they're giving out a lot of money, all right? So make sure you take advantage of that, all right, guys? All right, cool. So seeing that we have no questions, it was really my joy, chatting with you all. And tomorrow, all right, tomorrow. All right, tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow we'll get connected. All right, everybody. Love you all.
Can you please give those red folders again, please?
Just go to forexfactory.com and you'll see all of them. Let me just bring up the website. Where is it? Right here. So let's go to forexfactory.com and then click on this where you see December 17th, 22. Just click 17 and then click 22, and then it will apply settings. And then it will give you, see Monday, right? You see Monday, right?
Okay.
Right. And then Tuesday. And you just write them down in a calendar, or if you want to come back every morning and check it. and then you just write them down for the day. Okay?
All right.
You didn't pay $1,200 like you were paying in
Thank
data
you.
points.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. Blessings, everybody. Enjoy your holidays, and let's make a lot of money for the rest of the year and next year. Let's blow this thing up.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
love
much,
you.
Dr. Harry.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You're welcome. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
On here, you went on the counter.